Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from today. We have some big news to discuss, and that is President Donald Trump has issued what can be interpreted as a kill order for Venezuela. That is right. President Donald Trump has issued what can be interpreted as a kill order for dictator Nicolás Maduro, the head of the Venezuela regime. And things are going to get real sporty now, because not only do we have an order issued, we have a timeline for when the attacks might start unfolding. And at the same time, President Trump seems to be indicating that he might be willing to extend the olive branch for one last chance at negotiations if and when it's possible that a deal can be reached for Maduro to step down. So I'm going to break down exactly what's happening. Before I do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys absolutely nothing at all. Huge boost to the channel. Comment with your thoughts below. How do you want to see this go? Do you want to see Maduro removed from power in Venezuela? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that notifications bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. My DMs are wide open. Please reach out with whatever you have. Got a good tip on a story you want me to look into? Let me know, or just reach out and say hello. I love talking to y'all. Now, let's get into it. We have seen a series of escalations up the escalation ladder, if you will, in Venezuela, against Venezuela, for war with Venezuela. That is simply the reality of the situation we are in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The United States has flooded an incredible amount of firepower into the region, the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier being the most important one of them all. That is the world's most advanced aircraft carrier, and it entered the Pacific not the Pacific, that's totally different area. It entered the Caribbean on November 16th after kind of loitering outside the region while still in Southcom's AOR. It entered the Caribbean on November 16th. I'm filming this on November 17th, so all information is up to date as of then. We also had this mystery attack that unfolded on the energy grid in Venezuela. The Venezuelans are claiming it as sabotage. They're claiming the United States did the attack. The United States has not said anything about it, anything to do with that attack. So read into that as much as you want. As I said in the video I shared November 16th, my guess, my educated guess would be that the United States did not do that attack. It could be the false flag we were all warned about. Because remember, a congressman publicly stated, we have intelligence that Venezuela is going to conduct a false flag attack. I, of course, reported that first on October 12th. So kind of cool to beat the United States government to it, but that's where we are at. Well, it appears we're crossing the threshold, and I'm going to put this up on the screen. This was President Trump a few days ago, I believe on Friday night. He was asked if he'd made a decision on Venezuela. We've watched this video, but this is important context. So let's watch it again, and you guys can get an idea then of what is going on.
Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings on Venezuela. I know you can't tell us what your next steps will be, but can you say, have you made up your mind on what you'd like to do as far as action for
I
Venezuela?
sort of have made up my mind, yeah.
You have.
I can't tell you what it would be, but I sort of made up my mind.
What do you say to some of your supporters who might not be excited about another foreign campaign?
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I can't tell you what it is, but we made a lot of progress with Venezuela in terms of stopping drugs from pouring in. But we have a Mexico problem. We have a Colombia problem. Meaning Colombia, the country. We're doing very well. Drugs coming into our country are greatly slowed, as you can imagine.
So that was President Trump saying he has made up his mind, but he's not going to tell everyone what he's going to do, but he has made a decision on what will happen with Venezuela. Now, with that much firepower that's been moved down there, hard to imagine the decision is anything other than to unleash on the regime of Nicolás Maduro. And that brings me to this. So, Secretary of State Marco Rubio took to Twitter /X, Twitter, whatever you guys want to call it, late at about 5:38 Eastern time on Sunday, November 16th. And he says, State Department intends to designate Cartel de los Soles, that's Cartel of the Suns, as a foreign terrorist organization, an FTO. headed by the illegitimate Nicolás Maduro. The group has corrupted the institutions of government in Venezuela and is responsible for terrorist violence conducted by and with other designated FTOs, as well as for drug trafficking into the United States. So here are a few more details. Put this on the screen for you. This was released on the State Department's website on Sunday, November 16th. Terrorist designations of Cartel de los Soles. The Department of State intends to designate the Cartel de los Soles as a foreign terrorist organization. This is critically important. Pay attention to the next words coming out of my mouth. Effective November 24th, 2025. So it's effective this upcoming Monday. That's 1 week from today. It says, based in Venezuela, the Cartel de los Soles is headed by Nicolás Maduro and other high-ranking individuals of the illegitimate Maduro regime who have corrupted Venezuela's military, intelligence, the legislature, and judiciary. Neither Maduro nor his cronies represent Venezuela's legitimate government. Cartel de los Soles, by and with other designated FTOs, including Tren de Aragua and the Sinaloa cartel, are responsible for terrorist violence throughout our hemisphere, as well for trafficking drugs into the United States and Europe. The United States will continue using all of our available tools to protect our national security interests and deny funding and resources to narco-terrorists. Today's action is pursuant to Section 219 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. FTO designations go into effect upon publication in the Federal Register. Cartel de los Soles was previously designated by the Department of Treasury pursuant to Executive Order 13224. Why is this important? This is unbelievably important for one simple reason. If you are the head of an organization that the United States considers a foreign terrorist organization, you, well within the rules of engagement, to be killed, to be eliminated, to be targeted, to be wiped out. How do we know this? We've done it many times before. We did it with Baghdadi, the head of ISIS. Then we did it with his replacement. I think we even got the next one after that, although I think the third guy, the fate's a little unclear. The most famous example, Osama bin Laden, UBL, founder of Al-Qaeda, responsible for terrorism all over the world, 9/11 being the most famous of them all. How did his life end? SEAL Team 6 flew into Abbottabad, Pakistan, and killed him. Well within the rules of engagement, totally legal, no issues with it whatsoever. So now the United States is treating Nicolás Maduro the same as we treated the head of Al-Qaeda and the head of ISIS, which means under the rules of engagement, the United States government has total and complete authority to kill you. It's not even up for debate. Not even up for debate. They are able to go out and smack you in the mouth lethally if they want to. This is a kill order. Make no mistake about it. This is a kill order for Nicolás Maduro. It gives the United States government authorization and legal rights to go in and take him out because he's not a head of state in their eyes. He is a cartel leader. He's a foreign terrorist leader. Thus, he is well within the rules of engagement to go out and strike. But the fact they have until November 24th, excuse me, I'm filming this on November 17th. This is a 1 week, essentially, negotiating timeline. That's what we have here. The United States has given Nicolás Maduro 1 week to find a resolution here, step down from power, flee the country, whatever it might be, 7 days. And President Trump, I'm going to put this on the screen for you here, addressed this, saying they might talk now. They might talk. He says a bunch of things about Venezuela here. Let's watch them all.
Any questions?
Update on Venezuela, Mr. President? On Venezuela, update?
No update on Venezuela.
The designation of that cartel associated with Maduro, does that mean that the U.S. government can target Maduro's assets or infrastructure inside Venezuela?
It allows us to do that, but we haven't said we're going to do that. And we may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out.
So,
They would like to talk.
So he is saying they now have the legal authority and the right to strike inside Venezuela, which is literally what I just told you, due to the designation of Maduro being a terrorist leader. It's pretty cut and dry. It's not complicated, not complex. This designation is a kill order. Now, will the order be executed? That's a totally different story. That's a totally different story. But this gives him the authorization. Now, there is some other stuff in here.
You said they want to talk. You said Venezuela wants to talk. What does that mean?
Venezuela would like to talk. What does it mean? You tell me. I don't know.
You want to talk to them?
I talk to anybody. I talk to you, right? I talk to anybody. We'll see what happens.
Green says
So I think there's a little bit more still in here. Right here.
Are you discussing options with Congress? Are you going to Congress to discuss potential options you're considering?
I'd like to keep Congress involved. I mean, we're stopping drug dealers and drugs from coming into our country. And I actually told Marco and some of the people, our Secretary of State is doing a great job, by the way. I said, go to Congress and let them know we're not letting drugs come through Mexico. We're not letting them come through Venezuela. And let Congress know about it. We don't have to get their approval, but I think letting them know is good. The only thing I don't want them to do is leak information that's very important and confidential and may put our military at risk, or whoever is doing, CIA, military, etc. But I did say, I said, go and see Congress, see the representatives that we're supposed to be seeing, and be open about it. If they say, we don't want you to stop drugs from coming into the country, I don't think that would be good, yes.
Are any other countries committed to helping the U.S. with Venezuela, or is all our action still?
Yeah, we have great support because it's all about drugs. Well, in Venezuela's case, it's about drugs, and it's also about thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that they've released into our country. And some are gang members from Tren de Aragua. Some are many are drug dealers. Some are murderers. So in the case of Venezuela, it's the prison population. Their almost entire prison population was released into the United States. You know what that means? Their prison population was released into the United States.
So that is President Donald Trump right there, making it crystal clear that not only does he have the authority as commander-in-chief with this new designation to kill Nicolás Maduro, strike inside Venezuela if he wants to. He is also talking with Congress. He's discussing with Congress, and they have all the legal authority. He just doesn't want Congress to leak. It's always amazing how Congress gets briefed on something, and then not much longer after that, it ends up in the news, but that's a discussion for another time. But President Trump here is making it known publicly, yeah, we'll talk to him, but now we also have the right to kill him. And this is why this 1 week window of November 24th, starting today, 7 days, is critically important. They are giving Maduro 7 days to come to the table and reach some kind of conclusion. And if not, 7 days from now, they will have green light authority to kill him if they want to. Speaking of which, Dan Driscoll, the head of the Army, U.S. Army Secretary, was asked about Venezuela on Face the Nation.
Quickly on News of Day, the president did say he sort of made up his mind on Venezuela. I know this is the Marines, this is the Navy that are deployed. But does the Venezuelan army pose any kind of threat to the U.S. if action's taken?
I think that the president and Secretary of War have spent a lot of time thinking about what is the best thing they can do for the American people. And I can speak from the Army's perspective, which is we have a lot of training in that part of the world. We're reactivating our jungle school in Panama. We would be ready to act on whatever the president and Secretary of War needed.
But no orders beyond these exercises at this point?
We don't talk about those kinds of things, yeah. But we would be ready if asked.
So there he says, Dan Driscoll says the U.S. Army will be ready if asked. And it's interesting that Dan Driscoll was brought up to discuss that, because we all remember this from the Washington Post a few days ago. Right here. It says the U.S. plan has raised the possibility, too, of involving the military's elite Delta Force, according to two people familiar with the matter. The highly trained Special Operations Unit prepares for an array of capture-kill missions, and it saw frequent usage in 2 decades of U.S. wars in the Middle East. So Delta Force is ready to go. Delta Force is on standby. We know they have 4 assault squadrons. They have a bunch of other squadrons that do a bunch of stuff, some of which probably aren't for public disclosure, but it's well known they have 4 assault squadrons. They have A, B, C, and D, A and B being the originals, C coming later, D got stood up during the GWAT. Those guys are experts at what they do. And what they do are capture, kill missions, counterterrorism, hostage rescue. When we went into Panama to get Noriega, Delta Force was pivotal in crushing the regime of Noriega. So I'm going to pull this off the screen now. So that's where we are at. We are giving the Venezuelans, the Venezuelan regime, because we don't have a problem with the good people of Venezuela. Our issue is with the Venezuelan regime. We are giving the good people of, we're coming to protect the good people of Venezuela. We're giving the regime 7 days, and then the window for attack will officially be open. So I don't expect to see strikes this week. I don't think we'll see strikes in the next 7 days. But once that November 24th date rolls around, we'll be living in a completely different world, because Maduro will have the FTO designation on his head. We will be ready to rock and roll. And that is the nature of the beast. So Trump is saying they want to talk. We might talk with them, but you got 7 days, pal. 7 days. The clock is ticking. Tick-tock. The clock is ticking. And that's where we stand as of the recording of this on November 17th. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys nothing at all. Huge boost to the channel. Hit that notifications bell. All notifications turn on. You won't miss a thing. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. My DMs are wide open. Please reach out with any tips you have or comments you want to share. I'll see you all next time.